Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. We're back at the local beaches today. Got a lot of really good gravel bars behind me. I mean, there's just huge gravel bar here. You can find agates, jaspers, rhyolites, some other really cool things. We're gonna give it a shot, see what we can find today. Maybe we can find something to take back home to cut. Check in a little bit. Looks like we've got our first find of the day here. This really cool piece of, looks like rhyolite and chalcedony mixed together. You can see some patterning in here. Lots of like swirls and stuff. I think this will be really cool to see cut open. Bring that back. I was walking along and I found another piece of this rhyolite and chalcedony mix here, and when I went down to pick it up, I see a couple more things in the vicinity that I'd like to check out. Mostly it's for pattern. One is this guy, kind of like a conglomerate of rock. I think that'll be kind of cool to see opened up. And then this piece of brecciated jasper here. I really like these brown and red tones in there. It's got good fill with all that quartz chalcedony. A little bit of yellow. I think that'll be a really cool pattern to see cabbed up. We'll bring these home with us, see what we can get out of them. It's a beautiful day out here. Warm with a cool breeze. Lots of gravel to look at. Really can't beat it. These gravels are super colorful. Lots of broken up shells mixed in here too. Sometimes I grab them. I don't usually mess with them too much unless they're really unique. But still, lots of really good rock to look at today. We had some storms recently that really churned up everything on the beaches. This is my first chance to get out here since then, so pretty happy with the couple finds we found so far. And I do pick up beach glass, and I love that green. How cool. All right, well, we'll keep looking around and let you know if I find anything else. Came over to see this piece of rhyolite and chalcedony mix, and I noticed something a little bit more interesting right next to it. Looks like it's got a seam of agate going through there, chalcedony. A little bit of transparency. This isn't the best light for this, but it's definitely transparent all the way through there. And I really kind of like that. I might take that and cut off some of these high points here and try to get a cab out of there and have that streak going right through the middle. Got a little pretty cool. A little bit tinted brown. Pretty sweet. Finding a lot of good stuff today. Not that surprised, seeing as how much gravel's here, how much the storms churned everything up, but having a pretty good day so far. Been walking around for a little while and haven't found anything too interesting. And I think I might have just found the find of the day. This looks like a little white rock. When you look at it closer, it's got all that really cool agate banding there. Back looks like it might be rhyolitic, but I mean, just that is super sweet. I might take that. Just I don't know, I really like it how it is, but it would be kind of interesting to see it kind of face polished and leave it as a specimen, but it might lose all that white if you do that. That is really cool. What a sweet find. Well, everyone, it's gonna be about it for me today. Looked through the gravel bars for about an hour and a half. Found some pretty cool stuff, pretty happy. Go ahead and take everything back to the shop, get it cleaned up, and start working on some of the pieces. It's got some pretty good potential with some of the rhyolites and agate and stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for coming along, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. But for now, leave you guys with just a little bit of this ocean scene. All right, I went ahead and got everything cleaned up. These are the rhyolite and chalcedony pieces here, some of the agate pieces, the brecciated jaspers. I'm going to take a couple of these and cut them up into cabs, but for now let's take a closer look at what we got here. So you can identify some of these rhyolite pieces on the color. These gray and yellow or tan tones are really common. You can oftentimes see agate or chalcedony peeking through here on the edges. Sometimes it helps if you have a flashlight. You can kind of get a sense of where it's going in there. And the bubbles like here are a really good indicator because they're volcanic, and so these are kind of like thunder egg chunks in a way. And our local rhyolites have a lot of these mushroom patterns, sometimes called mushroom rhyolite. You can see all these little orbs and half orbs and broken pieces, the agate going through. So the patterns are really cool, and a lot of times you will see the chalcedony or agate going through there. Some of them can be, there's a bit of variety to them. This piece has some of the gray and red while still having some of those rhyolite orby features in them. So this one would be pretty cool, I think. Sometimes they kind of just look like little conglomerates. This overall, some really nice pieces here. Really trying to get one that has a really good example of this patterning here, but throughout the entire cab. So we'll see when we cut these if that comes through. This is a bit of an odd one. Has those little agate balls in there. You can see some banding in that red color. This one looks rhyolitic to me, but I'm not positive. I just really liked these kind of individual rocks going on here. So that seam piece, that seam agate that comes through, you can see, looks really sweet. I'd like to get a piece that cab look right through the middle section there. There is some light banding, and that's, you know, a giveaway for it being agate or chalcedony for sure. This brecciated jasper is pretty neat. You can see how lumpy it is. And that's because the quartz is a little bit softer than the jasper, so that quartz weathers away while it's tumbling around faster than the jasper does. But we'll cut off a piece of this and see if it cabs up well. And a couple of these little white agates, or locals call them moonstones. They run all up and down our California beaches. This one is one of the best ones I've ever found. Has that really sweet banding throughout different parts of it. And that rhyolite pattern on the back. So this one's pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to polish this one or not. They have a tendency to lose kind of this white rind when you do that, and then if it goes just straight clear, it might not be as interesting to look at, but I think it looks pretty cool how it is. But yeah, we'll take a handful of these to the saw, at least take a look at most of them, and then pick out a couple to cab up and polish. All right, I went ahead and got a bunch of this stuff slabbed up so we can get a closer look at it. I only showed you guys a couple because it takes a little bit to go through this much material, but I cut a bunch more so we can take a closer look. I'm going to start off with this brecciated jasper, and I absolutely love the patterns in this and those like kind of autumn colors. I think that's going to be really cool polished up. This guy looks pretty crazy on the outside and like a conglomerate, and on the inside it's less interesting. You can see some agate and some rhyolite. It's a bit fractured. There's a bunch of little pits and holes, so I probably won't cab that up, but still interesting to see. I was really excited to see what this one was going to look like on the inside, having all those little balls there, but it doesn't come through too much. You can see a little bit of it, but still, I really like this dark gray color. So I might polish this one, I'm not too sure yet. This one had a bit of that red on the outside and browns, and not so much on the inside, mostly grays, a little bit of white, a little bit of red. It might still cab up nicely, might take a look at it. This little guy, that red agate in there is pretty cool. Just got all these little orbs. Might polish up. I believe that this gray stuff's going to be a bit softer than the rest, but we'll see how that goes. I might polish it. This was the one with the agate streak going through the center, and I took quite a bit off of this to get to that center bit. Took off one side, took off the other side, and then the way I kind of envisioned it was a semi-teardrop shape with that strip going at an angle. I think that'll look really cool. So hopefully that works out. This piece of rhyolite had that mushroom pattern there. So I was hoping I'd cut this one up completely, trying to chase it through, and it's got some really cool patterns, but that pattern I was looking for didn't really come through at all. But it still looks really cool. This is what I'm looking for right there, but throughout the stone. Might still polish a piece of that one. And then this guy, the big chunk. One of the more interesting ones, I think. You can see all the rhyolite and the agate going on in there. And something that caught my eye about it from the get-go was that banding layer going through there. And so you can see it starting there. That one's backwards. You can see a little bit more of it growing there, and then it gets more. And I might chase that out another time because I really like that. And if I look back to the outside, you can see it wraps all the way around over here and then over to here. And so that probably connects somewhere in here. And so the slabs that come up throughout that section might be really cool, but either way, it still looks really nice, but I'd like to capture that maybe. So I'll take a couple of these, get them cabbed up, and see what we get. All right, we went ahead and polished up these 3 stones. Really happy with the results. Have a piece of agate and rhyolite here. Really like the dark green colors as well as those kind of pinkish rosy colors. I think the composition here is really cool. Took a pretty good polish. This is what the outside of that one looked like. Just had these little agate orbs inside. So pretty happy with how that one turned out. This piece here was that brecciated jasper. We went ahead and took a slice out of the middle, and pretty big difference between what it looks like polished versus right off the beach and dry. Just some show here. That's right where that cab was sitting. Really happy with how it turned out. It took a fantastic polish. And then this little seam agate is probably my favorite one. Decided to go with the teardrop shape and have that seam come in through at an angle. I think it adds a lot of character to the stone. The agate took a fantastic polish. You can see a little bit of the banding there. Has some good transparency. And yeah, I'm really happy. This one I ran a little bit higher dome on. I love this little cab. Not too bad for some local beach rocks. Never know what you'll find out there, and once you get it polished, it can really change the look. Really happy with these, and you know, thanks for coming along on another adventure and sticking through to the end to see some finished products. And, I'll catch you guys all in the next one.